The Dream 3 podcast, episode number 47. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Let's jump right into it. We're back with another episode of the Dream 3 podcast. It is Thanksgiving. Neil, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
You and your family as well.
We have so much sports going on right now that we had to jump on the podcast. There is NFL action going on right now, as you can see behind me. There's World Cup action that's going on. Obviously, the NBA and the hockey season has started. NBA nobody really cares about, but there's a lot for us to talk about today.
Yeah. But the World Cup has been entertaining for me. I've got to watch a few games and seeing some of the upsets on it. I'm just I'm enjoying this. I'm very much enjoying the World Cup right now.
It is. It's been very fun to watch. The hype between from the U.S. men's national team and then, unfortunately, watching them tie with Wales 1-1. But there's been some crazy upsets. Germany getting upset by Japan. Amazing. Couple good games today. Ghana and Portugal was a very good game. It was very slow first half, and then crazy shootout, and Ghana almost even tied it in the final minute of regulation. And then Brazil was 2-0 over who did they play? Serbia. So obviously the big game for the USA tomorrow. USA versus England. USA is a major underdog at plus 550 right now. England looked good in their very first game. I believe they won 6-2. Big question right now for England is Harry Kane's fitness. Will Harry Kane be in the starting 11? All signs point that he will still be in the starting 11. But that's a huge game. Even if you're not a soccer fan, you can always get up for USA England just to tune in and watch.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like being the little brother to England and you know, going out there and maybe giving it to them. I think tomorrow a 1-1 tie would be magnificent for us. Absolutely, just that would be a win for the USA. Yeah, especially after what England did in the first game.
Yeah, there's a reason why the USA's big underdogs in this. We don't have, and Josh could probably, say more to this, but I don't think not our depth, but I don't believe that our players are coming off the bench in the right spots.
I don't think we have the pure talent either.
Of course, compared to
what England has and the depth that they have. I think their second team could probably still beat us.
It's their game. If you think about the international football, like American football, like if you took a Team USA versus a Team England, like American football is obviously our sport versus them.
It wouldn't even be close. We'd murder them.
100%. So tomorrow's game, I'm going to put some money on USA because I feel like it's my national duty to bet with USA. I will make two bets. I will make obviously one USA winning at plus 550 tonight, and also at a tie, which I believe is at plus 300. So going to make those bets. Go USA, 1776 forever.
That's right. I just the only thing I don't want to happen is for us to give up an early goal and then just get absolutely obliterated, and it'd be like a 3-0, 4-0 game, 4-1, something like that.
And then you're going to lose all popularity in the U.S., and nobody in the U.S. is going to care about soccer again.
Yeah, because then you have to basically go into the Iran game and hope that you blow them out 4-0, because Wales is probably going to beat them 2-0, 3-0, maybe 2-1, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which means on goal differential, you got to make up everything you lost to England, and that's going to be the tough part. So this is for American soccer, this is the biggest game in, what is it, over 3,000 days?
Yes.
3,065 days in between World Cup, last time we played a World Cup. So huge game tomorrow. I will be wearing all USA gear at work. Literally, everything will be USA.
Tomorrow should be the November version of 4th of July here in America. Even if you don't like soccer, I think it's been fun. Like you said, it's been fun to tune in and watch. I know a lot of people don't get and understand soccer, and I'm still kind of in that boat, like texting with Craig. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're a goal down with a minute left, and why are you passing the ball backwards to go back to the goalie to reset everything? I'm like, send everybody forward and chart. Yeah, just completely press the field. So it's been fun to watch. It's fun to watch these top tier players go against each other. I mean, there's amazing players from every country, and to see them all kind of in one set, one tournament, it's been awesome to watch. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo had a day today, even though he only got technically one goal. He had 3 goals that were pulled off by VAR or referee decision. So, getting to watch him ball out was pretty awesome also.
He's first person ever scoring 5 World Cups.
5 World Cups.
That's amazing. And probably never, ever will be done again.
Will never be done again.
Yeah. And so leading off that, Ronaldo actually makes a statement with his World Cup game. Then you have the German national team, known for being technically sound and always playing well, get beat by Saudi Arabia. Or is it Saudi Arabia?
No, it was
who was it? Japan. Japan beats it. Which Japan's got some good players, but you're the German war machine. You should be handling your business.
Especially with the amount of hype that we put into him this year, the Kai Havertz. I know they lost
Moukoko.
Well, that's one of my beefs is Moukoko didn't come off the bench until the 89th minute.
Yeah, don't understand that. I mean, I understand, sometimes you're not playing your best player sometimes because they're young. It's a bigger stage, but at the same time, like, you got to sell out. And maybe that's something we don't understand from the American perspective, watching soccer. And like what you said before with scoring in the, or with not pressing when you got a minute left and you're trying to reset. It's like from the American side of things in football and basketball, you're selling out because the game matters.
Yeah.
And it's just, how much does that technical, like being technical and just playing the proper game, I don't understand it from a soccer perspective. So
no, and German, and it's not like the Germans were the only team to feel or look out of sync. I thought Portugal looked out of sync today. Germany obviously looked all over the place.
Portugal, I thought, pressed very well, but then as soon as they scored, they lit up, and they just their defense just I don't know, just played not timid, but just kind of played complacent. I think the team as a whole played complacent, and that's kind of why they almost tied the game, which would have been a loss for them, essentially. And then, I mean, you bring up Argentina, Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I don't know what Messi's issue is with performing under pressure, but he hasn't been able to do it yet.
No. And I don't believe the French team has played yet, correct?
No, France did.
France did?
They won 4-1, I think.
Okay. I didn't get to see that, but you're right on Messi's team, Argentina. Man, that's a tough loss to, and thinking of a guy like Messi who has never won a World Cup. Ronaldo hasn't won a World Cup.
But Ronaldo's got a Euro. He's got a European championship.
Yeah.
And Messi's got, I think he's got one of the, CONCACAF or whatever it is. But that's like,
and then Costa Rica getting blown out last night. What was it? 7-0. That looks so bad for CONCACAF.
Yeah, it does.
So it's 7, and just giving up goals left and right. Like at that point, why even have a goalie out there?
Yeah, I mean, for Spain, It was honestly, I didn't see it coming. I just didn't see it coming. I didn't see that big of a blowout coming.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So, is what it is. On to the games. What do we got? What's the lineup next or tomorrow? Because that's the new round, right?
The new round tomorrow. Let me jump into it with a little betting action right now. Tomorrow's games. Obviously, we have USA and England.
That's the
England
2:00.
minus 210 on England. 340 plus 340 tie plus 550 USA getting that win. You have Wales versus Iran at 5 a.m. Eastern.
Not
Wales
waking up to watch that.
Wales is the slight favorite, plus 115. Iran is plus 280. I would probably put money on Wales there. You have Qatar versus Senegal. The way Qatar looked in the opening,
Senegal got
game.
beat. Senegal got beat though, didn't they?
Senegal got beat, but Qatar is just so outmatched. Like,
yeah, but they only lost 2-0.
I think it was supposed to be a lot worse. I'm pretty sure a goal or two got pulled off.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe 2-0. Maybe 2-0 doesn't tell the story. I mean, Ecuador dominated the first half, and it looked like Qatar didn't know what they were doing out there. But
so you have Qatar and Senegal. Senegal's obviously the favorite. They are minus 160 to Qatar's plus 500. And then you have a plus 260 tie in there. You have a good game tomorrow in the Netherlands and Ecuador. Netherlands are going to be the favorite in this game, minus 135 to Ecuador's plus 420. Australia and Tunisia, plus 115 for Tunisia, plus 260 for Australia. So Tunisia is going to be slight favorite there. Poland and we're getting Saturday games. Poland and Saudi Arabia is going to be early on Saturday. Poland is slight favored, 135 minus 135 to plus 410. And then France and Denmark. France is obviously the favorite in that game, minus 135 to plus 410. Argentina and Mexico. Argentina is a big favorite, minus 180 to plus 550 on Mexico.
who do they play?
Mexico.
I don't think that. I don't know.
The way Argentina looked, man, that's to have them as a minus 180 favorite.
It's either going to be Argentina getting pissed off and blows out Mexico, or Mexico just comes out swinging and Argentina implodes. I don't know if I see that one going into a tie. I think it'll swing one way or the other.
So that's kind of the lineup.
Good round of games, though.
That was good, very good round of games. As I'm looking over my shoulder at the Vikings-Patriots game, and also looking at my same game parlays.
Did Kirk throw another interception?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Another primetime interception? I think that's what I just saw.
Well, I need Kirk Cousins to throw for 200 yards, Dalvin to run for 50, Stevenson for the Patriots to run for 40, Justin Jefferson needs 50 yards receiving, and TJ Hawkinson needs 25 yards receiving for one of my parlays.
Well, primetime Kirk. Never know what you're going to get.
That's true. Very, very true. Man.
Well, USA all the way. Let's hope for a 1-1 tie, and maybe we'll pull something out. And I don't know, get a win. That would be crazy, but
I will say the explosion of soccer this past couple weeks for the card market, and I wish Josh was on so we could talk a little bit more about this, but the amount of cards that I've moved, soccer cards, but maybe not big time cards, but even the smaller versions, like people are buying up soccer right now, and it's
Did you
great.
end up selling that Holland Genesis that you pulled?
I have a couple offers on it, but I have not sold it yet.
Hmm.
So for people that are tuning in, let me pause for coughing. I bought what I buy? I bought 4 mega boxes at Target of the Road to Qatar. So this is pre
Yeah.
Prism boxes of Mosaic, just to kind of see if I could pull some stuff right before the World Cup started. Got down to the last box, and I was texting Josh and Neil as I was opening. Hopefully, we were trying to hit something good. There wasn't a lot of big killers that you're going to get in Mosaic boxes. You're looking for, silvers. Genesis is a big one because it's a super short print. But you also got to think of the amount of players that are in the soccer packs, of especially when you're talking about the international players. So had a Genesis, pulled it, and sent Neil and Josh a picture, hoping it was something good. I slow played it here at the house, and obviously, right off the top of my head, I saw at the bottom it said Norway. I was like, "Who's good at Norway?" And then pulled it all the way off, and it was Holland. So that was a banger of a pull. Obviously, probably one of the best players in the world right now, currently.
I would say probably. I mean, one of the best players. I would say the best player in the world right now.
Unfortunately, his team is not in the World Cup, so he's not playing.
No, his national team is trash.
Yeah, so it's a great pull, but being in the national jersey, and I talked to Slabstock Aaron about it. It's a great pull, but it's not a huge big time card. Like it's still gonna a couple $100, which is great. But it's not a European League or him. There are other cards for Holland but it was a good pull. I mean, for the amount of money I spent on mega boxes at Meyer, it was worth it.
Yeah. You have an abundance of ripping box luck that I don't.
And it's only
my God, I will never rip boxes. Unless it's 2014 football. That's it.
Dude, the only luck I have ripping boxes is retail. If I bought a case of hobby, I wouldn't hit a damn thing. But you let me buy some retail, I'll hit some stuff somehow, some way.
Yeah. BGS 10 LeBron Silver, he sold for $4K.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's a nice one.
Oh, it was the most beautiful card I've probably had.
Hey, can you look that up? What's a BGS 10 LeBron?
Right now?
Yeah, I'm really interested because you sold yours for $4K, right?
Yes.
Let's see how far down that's gone. Because that was peak price. You literally I think you made the peak.
Well, I couldn't believe that, I got the alert that it sold and didn't believe it because, I get stuff that sells all the time, but then it said it was paid for. I was like, somebody actually paid for it.
Yeah.
Yes, 10.
2019 Prism.
Yep, 2019. One sold November 13th, a BGS 10 for $299.
It looks like you capitalized on the peak there.
And that also shows like the peaks and valleys of the market. I mean, at that time, the market was so hot and skyrocketing, and now a lot of people are saying that the market is falling down.
I will say, in some sectors, yes, it is, but in other sectors, no. Like there's still like there's in the rarity, like the rare cards that come up, they're setting new highs all the time. Like
for sure.
The example, I had that Jim Brown rookie that I got, okay, that I bought on auction Heritage Auctions in August, graded it, got a 410 PSA 410. Okay, before I sold mine, there was a new set high for a PSA 6 Auto 10, a highest that's ever sold before, sold for $10,000, 10.2 thousand, so $10,200, which is the highest any Jim Brown rookie auto has ever sold for. And that's a we're talking about a card that's not super high end, but it's a rare card that just never comes up. So I think there's something to be said for rare cards, but then you have like the Luka Logo Man that Shine sold to the guy for $4 million. He turns around and it gets what, 3.2?
Yep.
3.2 after the premium. And I guess that's a tale of the market, and just like, yes, it is down. It is down. But I mean, I don't think it encompasses just what's going on behind a public platform in which cards are selling at.
True. I see it as because I watch a lot of sports card radio. I see a lot of, the normal pumpers that we, see in the hobby, the Roth cards, the sports card investor, these guys who keep claiming that, the market's skyrocketing. Well, when we take this, for example, during the height of the basketball craze of 2019-20 Prism, when Kobe White had those 3 games of 40 points or more, you were selling PSA base 10s for $150, $200. You know what a base 10 PSA
Probably
10?
$5.
$4.
Yeah. I mean, you could be saying the same about so the same thing happened with Bull. The Bull Prisms skyrocketed when he had those games in the preseason, and then he didn't play. And then this off season, people were selling him for like $5. And then now that he's went to the Magic, he plays on a new team, they're up to like $25. So I guess you could say, like, sure, if you bought in Bull this off season and you sold Bull now, you made, what is it, 5x your money, 6x your money. And if you put that on a mass scale and say you bought 10 of them at $4, you spent $40, you sell all 10 of those, you made $200.
But we're also seeing that how much mass printing there was, as the Zion PSA 10 is now over 25,000 in the pop count.
PSA 10s?
Yes.
That's sad. And that's just PSA 10s.
So the amount of, over printing was ridiculous.
Yeah. Agreed. It's going to be interesting to see what this market does. Like, let's say we're 30 years down the road. Okay. What happens when, let's say, Ja Morant ends up being an all-time player? I mean, Prism, it's got to be dead, right?
You would
Nobody
think
wants
so.
a Prism card because it's not worth anything. Because there's 30,000 of them.
And do you value, in which I'm going to say the collector market is going to be yes, you're going to value a National Treasures, a flawless type card over the Prism base, silver, whatever.
You have to.
And even with a jersey that's, we know, is not game used, it is everything from there is player worn.
Well,
That's going to be.
I think you could say like NT or flawless could be essentially what people look as their staple card from here on out, because the Prism card it's going to be like buying a base MJ.
It's going to be like the 86 or the 86 Flair.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could say, okay, MJ's the greatest basketball player on earth. Okay, well, what happens? Like, let's say Ja Morant is the greatest basketball player on earth. The cards that are going to be most desired, that'll be considered like this is what the equivalent is of the PSA 10 Michael Jordan, has got to be the NT and the flawless RPAs. But those are already selling for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that those cards are essentially have already peaked or are over their peak and may never reach that again, and it's like that for all your ultra modern players. I mean, you had a Justin Fields 101 sell for $87,000, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, the guy hasn't even done enough on the field yet.
Here's something, and if Card Collector 2, if Ryan ever listens to this podcast, probably not, but here's a stat for you. How many quarterbacks have won an NFL playoff game from the Ohio State University? Do you know this?
How many quarterbacks from Ohio State have
won an NFL playoff game?
An NFL playoff game. Can you tell me how many, and I can tell you the player?
Yes, one.
One?
And they won 3 games, and that was it.
They won 3 games. 3 games in the same year?
No, 3 games in their entire career. And that's the only player who's ever won an NFL playoff game from Ohio State as a quarterback. Starting quarterback.
How long ago did he start?
96.
Play for the Ravens.
Steelers.
The Steelers. 96?
Mike Tomczak. Tomczak, whatever. Exactly. That's my point. Ohio State quarterbacks are worthless. They will always be worthless in the NFL because they are absolutely god-awful. They suck, and they're a system quarterback.
I don't disagree about that, and we can, get into all of that. And then,
no, we should, because the big game's here in 2 days, and I hope Ohio State, since I live in Columbus, I hope all the Ohio State fans and all their delusion land that they live in, they just shut up afterwards when Michigan State pounds them again.
Michigan.
Michigan,
not Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan. Michigan pounds them again because I'm tired of them always talking about, my players are so good, Ohio State's so good. Yeah, you guys suck, okay? Great. You make great wide receivers, but you know what they actually do? Nothing. They do nothing. They amount to nothing anymore. They're all great college players because when you recruit the top 5 of the top 10 kids in the nation to come play, yeah, of course they're going to be good, but then you don't develop them into anything worth anything.
Well, I hope they get a win. Obviously, defensive coordinator for Michigan, Jesse Minter, was my defensive coordinator in college and my linebacker coach in college. So good luck to Coach Minter. I always root for Michigan in that game. It's kind of like, in Indiana. I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I'm not a IU fan. I will side with Purdue for any that's not Indiana State. Siding with Michigan, would love to see them win. But you're right. Like, you think of the quarterbacks that have been through there. You can't name me a great NFL quarterback from Ohio State. No. I think of a plug and play type guy. I think of a Terrell Pryor who ends up playing wide receiver.
And that was the best he ever did. When he switched wide receiver.
I think CJ Stroud's going to be the same thing.
Yep.
It's tough, man.
Think about that. Terrell Pryor, Justin, JT Barrett, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, Dwayne Haskins, Cardale Jones, Troy Smith.
That's who I was thinking of.
Troy Smith. None of them. Absolutely none of them. And think about how much they get hyped all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing.
And just think about the difference between, them.
I'm pretty sure Chad Henne for Michigan has started a playoff game before the last Ohio State players started a playoff game.
Chad Henne with the Dolphins. Oh, come on. Give Dalvin a good ball to catch, man. I need Dalvin to have 16.5 receiving yards. So
I don't know.
I hate it.
I actually picked the Pats to win that game. What's the score?
It is 10-7 New England. I think I have New England on the money line also, but I have to have some parlays to go with it.
Yeah. Understandable. So, your fantasy team sucks.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I started off. So for those who don't know, me and Caleb, we play in a fantasy league together, an 8-man league. Caleb has beat me twice this year.
With
Both times,
a
and
team.
you don't know this, both times are also your two highest scoring weeks of the entire year.
We're against you,
Were against me.
dude.
I've also scored the second most points in the league and have had the most points scored against me. And I was 1-7 at one point.
I beat Craig last week 145.9 to 145.1. I didn't even set my roster.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. My team is so bad. I am 4-7 playing.
Yeah, I'm 4-7 now.
I'm playing Abe this week. So I'm on St. Brown today. Got me 27 points, which is nice. DeAndre Swift got me 10.
For some reason, I don't know how, you just beat the crap out of me when it matters most.
And you know what? I'm fine with that because I did trade you Jonathan Taylor. What a terrible decision, except for when
No. I think that was fair because Amon-Ra's done pretty well for you.
Oh, for sure he has. But, Jonathan Taylor's only got you one good game.
2. He's got me 2. And that's all I need.
Oh, he ain't going to get you a good game this Monday. I'll tell you that.
We'll see.
I'm setting the over-under, and I'm going to text Craig. The over-under on TJ Watt getting sacks is going to be 3.5.
Under. He won't get that many.
Really?
He won't get that many.
With that trash Colts offensive line, did you not see what's his name?
French Fries is going to stop him.
What's his name from Brandon number 55 for the Eagles? Pick that rookie offensive left tackle up from Central Michigan up off the ground and just drive him into Matt Ryan. We draft a tackle from Germany who's only played football for 6 or 7 years. And what do you think is going to happen? This is a grown
you're
man
not good. You're not good, but Jeff Saturday may be something that turns it around.
He's not going to be the head coach. There's no way.
You were one PI, 51-yard PI away from being 2-0 with Jeff Saturday.
Ugh.
Just think about that.
I can't believe Zaire didn't turn around and look. I know. He knew he was beat, but just to run through the guy.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So let's transition a little bit into football. MVP odds have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody who we thought was going to be good is starting to come back down to earth. And there's this guy who plays out in Kansas City, has a really annoying wife and a really annoying little brother. Like to make TikToks all day.
Yep.
He's out there just balling away.
He's out there slinging it. So if you invested in Patrick Mahomes cards in 2017, you are sitting pretty, my man.
Yeah, in the off season, I mean, I think Prism PSA 10s were like under 3K at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're over 4,000 now or something. I don't see. I mean, I know at one point they peaked at over 10. If he wins another MVP, makes it to another Super Bowl, wins another Super Bowl ring. I mean, you got 2 Super Bowls and what is he, 25 years old?
Yep.
I mean, he's that guy. He is that guy. And Josh Allen's sitting there almost losing to the Lions.
Yeah. Josh Allen's going to get his ass hurt if he keeps running straight up and down like he is. I'll tell you a guy who's kind of been, on and off of our radar, and he was hurt for 3 games, and he would be in the MVP conversation is Tua. Dude is scoring for 300 plus, 300 plus a game. If he wasn't out for 3 games, think about what his numbers would be.
Yeah, he's impressed me. And And to be honest, I didn't think he'd be this good. I
Nope.
mean, we both have seen him throw the ball. He throws like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he puts it together, and I don't know. They got a good team too. They got a good defense. They play good football. They got a good run game. They got Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert. They got the wasn't Mike McDaniel the offensive coordinator
At San Diego or San
San
Francisco. Yeah.
Francisco? I mean, so he's bringing his running backs over.
Which is smart.
He's bringing his running backs over and know his scheme, know the way he plays the game. Essentially what you have is you have a San Francisco 49ers team on the East Coast who has a quarterback who can actually put the ball somewhere. Did they almost run the ball back?
Almost ran it back. They got it on the other side of the 50.
Was that a pick or?
Nope, that was a punt.
Oh boy, someone's injured.
Boyd, 29. Speaking of, did you ever foresee your Rams being so bad this year?
No. I figured after the Super Bowl we'd probably lose that first game to Buffalo. But so opening night we ended up, before the season started, we lost like one of our backup linemen who is essentially like a plug and play player for us. We lose on the game against Buffalo. We lose our center. We lose our guard that night. So you're down 2 starting linemen. We lose our left tackle 3 weeks later. You're down 3 linemen plus a 4th who would be your normal backup. At another time, we lose another player. So we're down like 4 or 5 starting linemen at one point. And on top of that, we can't run the ball. We throw the ball to Cooper Kupp every play. Cooper's injured. It's just not our year. It's not our year.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries. I'm not making excuses for our team. We haven't played well. Defense has played phenomenal. The defense has put ourselves in a position to win almost every game, and the offense has done nothing to help that out. Paying Allen Robinson $15 million a year was stupid. We should have kept Robert Woods. Even coming off of an ACL, Robert Woods is the type of player who, and I've talked about this before, he's the type of player who does the dirty work. He's the one who does the run blocks, a lot of the inside run blocks. And it's showing. It's showing that we're just not the same team. So honestly, and we don't have a first round draft pick. So you throw in the towel this year, you're not really getting much out of it. So you're stuck. You're stuck sucking, and it sucks. But I talked about this with some of my coworkers who are Bills fans. What would you do to win one Super Bowl, right? You'd sell everything. Sell everything to win a Super Bowl. And when you win that Super Bowl, you take your licking for it. You pay for it. And that's going to be us for this year and maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe in the next 20 years, but we got our Super Bowl.
You're in a better situation than the Colts are.
That's right. Everybody wishes they had a Super Bowl, and we have that one. So we kind of have to eat it. And we suck now, but we have a ring, and we'll always have that.
That's all that matters. Hey, real quick, transitioning back to cards. So obviously I've been buying, because they're fun too, is the Leaf production, the pre-production proofs, just because they're pretty cheap, and they're one of ones. But how do you think that holds up for the long run? I mean, Ronaldinho, maybe not a ton, but
are these the Tyson Fury ones you got too?
Yeah.
So what I like about Tyson Fury, the one Tyson Furies that you got, is it's kind of like, what Topps Now is? You've heard of Topps Now?
Yeah.
So Topps Now had a couple of early UFC Conor McGregor cards that came out that were like double champ cards and things like that. And they even came out with some UFC or some F1 Topps Now cards when F1 started, just before F1 started to get really big.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't want to say it has the same legs, but I mean, it's a rare card. They're one-on-ones.
One-on-one.
Tyson Fury in boxing itself doesn't have a lot. if boxing ever gets into the card space or people start to ever dabble into that from boxing, I can see Tyson Fury getting some love. I can see a lot of those guys getting.
I think Leaf is the only one that really gets into it. I know I have the other Tops had Tyson Fury on an autograph deal in 2020 or 21, and I have one of those in a BGS 9.5. But when I think of the rest of the autographs for boxers, for Mayweather, Pacquiao, et cetera, it's all pretty much handled through Leaf. And like Terrence Crawford, who ends up being, pound for pound, one of the 1 or 2 fighters in the world, I could have bought these Leaf pre-productions. They were selling for like $6, $7. I turn around, a couple years later, they're $400 or $500. So thinking of Tyson Fury at this moment in time as the number 1 boxer in the world, why not buy up all the stuff that you can of his?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So I went online this week. I was searching for Christmas presents for people. I tried to find a Tyson Fury card for you, but I did not find one that was within the budget. So I got you something else.
I was going to say,
shipped here soon.
Speaking of, have you got your gift for me yet?
I don't know. I have to go check the mail, to be honest.
Yeah, I shipped it this week, so let me know if you do, because you gotta.
I probably do. I haven't checked the mail, and
you gotta show it on the next podcast.
Well, I mean, might be able to go grab it.
Run, see if it's there.
I'll go check.
I can make up dead space. Fat packs only, boys. So real quick, while Neil's going out, and so Leaf makes pre-production stuff of all their cards. As people who follow Leaf know, that they have a ton of parallels of every single thing that they do. So whether it be mosaics, cracked ices, what are they called? Super prismatics. So they do a pre-production of every single card. So they do sell these, even though it looks like it's in a BGS case, it's just out of a Leaf case. And these are very easily able to be picked up and very cheap. So picking up something like that, I think, is a good medium size investment. So, something you may want to look into if that's your goal to make a buck long term, or if it's something you want to do for like a PC. Hey, you did get it. Nice.
All right, let's open this up.
Now this is for preset. This is for Neil correctly predicting that the Colts were going to beat the Chiefs. I told him I was good. I owed him something for making that prediction. So
the Colts beat the NFL MVP.
From our friends at Nation Golf. This is why you get your nice gear from Nation Golf Company. Nice hard collar golf shirt. You see the Smoking Tom logo on it. It's a good shirt. I look like Cousin Eddie with this.
Goddamn right you do.
Goddamn right you do.
Thank you.
They look good in some slacks and a cigar and a visor. Speaking of, our friends at Nation Golf are having a big live YouTube show tomorrow night. They're going to be giving away a ton of golf prizes. So make sure that you're tuning in and playing along with those guys. It's going to be a couple hours long. It'll be a great time with Adam Hawk. So tune into their YouTube page. Try to win some prizes. It'll be a great time.
Yep. And bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Bet against Patrick Mahomes. Got it.
Because sometimes you win.
Yes. And almost won against Jalen Hurts, too.
Yeah, almost won against Jalen Hurts. I should have bet with you on that one. Almost won.
Almost.
Well, Saturday, Ohio State, Michigan. What are the other big college games?
I'll tell you my prediction for Ohio State, Michigan.
I'd love to hear it.
I will say close, hard-fought game. Michigan wins 29-27.
What's the spread on that?
I will tell you. It is.
Isn't it like 7.5?
Ohio State 7.5.
I think that's way too big for a rivalry game, especially how close these teams are.
Mm-hmm. Over under is 56.
Here's the other thing. How is CJ Stroud an MVP candidate right now? Or not an MVP, a
Heisman candidate.
He's played awful this year.
Yeah. How is Marvin Harrison Jr. not a Heisman candidate?
He should be 100%.
He's the best player in college football.
Caleb Williams. That's the only other name I can think of.
I'll tell you, there's some big games going on tomorrow if you like college football. You have number 19 Tulane, who's 9-2, versus number 24 Cincinnati, who is 9-2. That's a good game. Cincinnati is a favorite by 1. That game will be on ABC. An interesting game that can go either way. You have number 23 Texas, who's 7-4, versus the unranked Baylor Bears at 6-5. Texas is an 8.5-point favorite, but knowing Texas, they're kind of like
favorited.
The Lions.
They like to lose those.
They're kind of like the Lions. They can,
kind of like Kirk Cousins in prime time.
Mm-hmm. Another nice rivalry game. You got North Carolina, who's number 17 at 9-2, versus NC State. North Carolina is 6.5-point favorites. Big game out in California. Number 18 UCLA, who's 8-3, versus the Cal Bears, who are 4-7. UCLA, who is a very, I'd say, much as a sleeper team this year, is a 10.5-point favorite. And then the battle down in Florida, you have the the Florida team who has very much, unimpressed everybody this year versus number 16 Florida State. Florida State is a 9.5-point favorite on that one.
Is it in Florida? Is it in Tallahassee or is it in Gainesville?
I believe it is in Tallahassee.
I like Florida State in that one.
Saturday games, you have number 1 Georgia versus Georgia Tech.
That'll be a blowout.
Yeah, 35.5 point favorites are the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 8 Clemson will be going up against South Carolina. Clemson is 14.
Didn't South Carolina just beat Tennessee?
They did. Yeah, they were giving it to Tennessee pretty handily. Tennessee's season's basically over with their quarterback.
Hendon Hooker tore his ACL.
Yeah, so that's rough for them. Battle in Kentucky, you have the unranked Kentucky Wildcats versus number 25 Louisville. The game will be at Kentucky, and Kentucky is favorited by 3.
Have you watched Will Levis play this year at all?
I have. I think he throws.
Do you still think he's a number 1 quarterback?
No, but I think he throws a nice ball.
Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad quarterbacks about how well you throw a nice spiral now.
I mean, it should be. Tua can't. And look at him.
But Tua looks good for some reason.
The Iron Bowls this weekend, Auburn, Alabama. Alabama's 22-point favorites. I am kind of disappointed that Auburn hired a new head coach and Cadillac Williams is no longer the head coach there. I thought Cadillac Williams is kind of like in that Jeff Saturday spot. He really deserves to kind of, I'm not saying that Jeff Saturday deserves to be the head coach, but I think Cadillac Williams brought a different type of fire to Auburn.
How do you feel about Jeff Saturday?
Being named the head coach?
Yes.
Or interim?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, he doesn't call the offense. He doesn't call the defense. You or me could be the head coach there. A head coach is a mouthpiece for the media, an emotional support for the team, a motivator for the team, and everybody else who's involved with the organization.
So he's doing his job correctly.
Exactly. Now, the problem with Frank Wright is Frank was the play caller, the OC, even though Marcus Brady was the OC. Like, you fire Marcus Brady, and then you go out against the Pats and you score 3 with negative 11 yards in the first quarter. Like, you're calling plays, my man. I understand that we got a trash team out there, but, Jeff Saturday's not going to be the long-term solution for the Colts. But for right now, I mean, you could have put freaking Pinky Manning out there. Should have. That giant forehead.
No, Peyton likes Denver too much.
You could have put Reggie Wayne out there. And I understand why Irsay did it. It's a morale booster for the team because another reason is season ticket renewals came out last week. So how to keep getting people to buy season tickets, got to make them happy because, we have sucked this year. So
do you think you finally changed from putting on a Band-Aid and actually draft a quarterback?
gonna have to. I mean, unless,
or are you going to pick up Ryan Tannehill at the end of this year?
we'll probably pick up Matt Stafford or Jared Goff next year. Be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit probably will let Goff go. I don't know if they're going to let Stafford go.
I don't
Rams
know.
Probably won't. I wouldn't let Stafford go.
We all want. It's going to depend on where we're going to end up in the draft. But yes, we need to. I would still say play Sam Ellinger for the rest of the season just to see what he can do. Matt Ryan. I don't care about winning. I just want to see if the kid can play football at a professional level.
The kid can't play football though. Sam can't play football.
I mean, neither can Matt Ryan.
Yeah, he can play it a little better.
I don't know about that. I'll let you know Monday. Back to college football real quick. You got number 9 Oregon versus number 21 Oregon State. That should be a very, very good game.
Is it at Oregon State?
It is at Oregon State.
Oof.
Oregon is 3-point favorites. Iowa State at number 4 TCU. TCU has, even though they are 11-0, they have had some close calls this year. Cardiac Horn Frogs.
We're going to have to play in a Big 12 championship, and they got to win that.
Mm-hmm. Michigan State at number 11 Penn State. Penn State is 19-point favorites. Number 14 Utah at Colorado. Colorado is 1-10 this year. That's not good. Utah is 29.5-point favorites. Number 5 LSU is going to the very much so underperforming Texas A&M Aggies. LSU is minus 10 points, but I think Texas A&M still can find a way to pull this off. I don't like Brian Kelly's team that much.
Huh.
Number 22 UCF was going to the 1-10 South Florida Bulls. The battle for the jeweled chalet between number 15 Notre Dame and number 6 USC. Get ready for the Bush push. Number 10 Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Tennessee's still 14-point favorites. That game could be a little bit closer. We'll see how Tennessee rebounds with a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Kansas at number 12 Kansas State. Kansas State is 11.5-point favorites. And finally wrapping up, number 13 Washington at Washington State in a good old rivalry game. Washington is a 1.5 favorite.
Interesting. Well, definitely the big game, Ohio State, Michigan. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to go 33-31. Michigan. Moody with the sealer at the end.
It's going to be tough. That game's always a pick 'em. Harbaugh's teams like to. Did the Vikings kicker just miss? Yeah, he did.
Probably.
Yeah, he did.
Lord. Did we want to talk about last time we were on? Did we talk about? I can't remember. Did we talk about Izzy Pereira?
Yeah, we did.
We did. Was that right after or right before?
It was after.
It was after. Did you see Yuri? You see Yuri go down?
I was on Twitter when the news broke, and then Dana came out and said the UFC doctors it's the worst shoulder injury they've ever seen. I can't believe that sucker wanted to fight Glover with one arm. Dude is a samurai. I am not really happy that Glover, they wanted Glover to fight the Russian guy, and
Yeah.
he asked for more time to train because it's a completely different style. The UFC said no. He said, "Oh, okay, well, can I fight Jan in Brazil in the January card?" Said no, because we've already seen you two. Like it's almost like they don't want Glover in the picture. But you got to think that the light heavyweight division is just a shit show right now.
Well, you wanna bring it back? Just reinstate John, give him his $30 million, and watch the tickets fly through the roof.
The problem is John's like what, 260 right now?
That's like 2 weeks worth of cocaine for him.
Well, and he's fighting. He's set up for March. It's supposed to be him and Ngannou, and then if Ngannou can't make it or has bad rehab, then it's going to be Curtis Blades
For the title?
I would assume so.
Because that would be Ngannou would have to.
He
wouldn't have to vacate, but it'd be an
I
interim.
would assume that it would be an interim, and then you have to make John and Francis. You can't tell me John and Francis wouldn't be one of the biggest fights of all time.
It would be. I wish it would have happened a year ago or two, but yes, it would be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Derek Lewis. I haven't heard anything more of Derek Lewis after getting pulled off that card day of.
I'm not sure. Oh, and Anthony Johnson, rest in peace.
Oh, R.I.P. Anthony Rumble Johnson. Apparently, he had cancer.
Yeah, that's very sad.
That is.
He's an all-around good guy too.
Dude was one of the best of all time. That sucked to hear.
Yeah. He really kept that under wraps too. He did.
He did. And I know some people saw pictures of him being really skinny because after he got done fighting the UFC, he kind of blew up to 300 pounds because he was trying to be a bodybuilder, and then he came back down to fight again, and then hadn't seen or heard from him for a while until this. And it's kind of that's sad. Really, really bad. See, Artem Lobel is suing McGregor over Proper 12.
Who is?
Artem Lobel.
Is that the brand manufacturer or something?
No. Artem. Remember, Artem used to be a fighter from New York. He was the one that during the Khabib and the Diaz thing was slapping the guys and fighting on behalf of Conor.
Maybe. I don't remember.
So he's saying that Proper 12 was his idea and that he's owed 5% of the company.
Okay. Say Conor, just pay him out. Whoop-de-doo.
Should. Cain Velasquez is out. He's still awaiting trial, but he is at least out of jail after spending, I believe, 8 months in there. Free Cain Velasquez.
Yep. Well, do we have anything more to hit? I
don't think so. Let's run through. I'll give you just a couple of the soccer games tomorrow. I want you to kind of give me final scores of your thoughts. We'll just do tomorrow's game. Wales and Iran.
2-0 Wales.
Qatar and Senegal.
2-1 Senegal. Qatar gets their first goal of the World Cup. And the place goes crazy, and there's a giant outbreak. No, I'm kidding. It's just 2-1.
Netherlands and Ecuador.
1-1 tie.
And England and the USA.
3-1 England, unfortunately.
USA by 1 million.
I am praying that is true.
I'm telling you, I'm just going to get on FIFA 23 and score 100 goals for the USA. So
yeah, and remorse for everything that's about to happen. No, I really do hope it's a good game. England's tough. I mean, they were in the Euro final 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, Euro final, played against Italy. They even had a lead, if I'm not mistaken. They even had the lead late in the game, gave it up, and then went it to PKs and lost against Italy. So,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe big stage. England crumbles under pressure, and America comes out again. 1776 style, guerrilla warfare, whatever we got to do.
Bring the muskets, boys. We're going fighting.
Yeah, my gut says 3-1, but man, I hope it's USA 1776-0. So
yeah. And then final thing to wrap it up, reminder to everybody that I am promoting a mixed martial arts card in Sullivan, Indiana on January 28th. Griggs Entertainment presents Notorious. As of this moment, there are 23 fights on the card. 4 of them are title fights. The card will start at 5 p.m. Tickets are available at Promotion Tix. That's promotiontix.com. You can select a fighter. If you buy tickets and want to go, that fighter will receive a commission for you buying off their name. It's going to be a great time. Expect a couple thousand people there. It will be live on pay-per-view. My Slabs has bought in as an official sponsor. So thank you to Ken. Thank you to Matt for working with me. It was great to talk to those guys and get them, because on this podcast, My Slabs, we promote them. They don't do anything for us. We just use their platform. We love their platform. And for Matt and Ken to actually hand out some cash to promote these guys is awesome. We also have Bedlam Beard Company. So if you want to take care of your beard, a local guy here in Pittsburgh, follow him on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, Beardland Beard Company. They got like 4,000 followers, makes awesome beard products. So if you need that, do that. And
can't do a mustache.
Yeah, same. And if you want to follow the fight card, just follow Griggs Entertainment on Facebook or look up the GE Fights Notorious page and you will see that. So hope to see everybody at the fights. Got to thank our sponsors here for the podcast as always. My Slabs, we already talk about them a lot. Slab Savers, protect your high dollar slabs as you should. Nation Golf, remember Nation Golf is having a great YouTube giveaway tomorrow. They're going to do a live show. So follow them, get on the Nation Golf Company YouTube page and follow them and Graded Card Solutions when shipping your stuff. So once again, we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Give us a download, give us a thumbs up, share, tell your friends. And until next time, me and Neil will see y'all.
Wait,
later.
I have one thing to add.
Or
Thanksgiving food is overrated. That's it.
Ooh.
And
Neil says it's overrated.
We'll unpack that next week.
We will discuss that next time. We're out.